Cabinet makers have always had a bit of a raw deal when it comes to squares. Typical woodworking squares, such as these two, are quite nicely balanced, but they're very chunky and they're not very accurate. I'll show you a way here that I was shown many years ago by my first woodworking teacher of checking the accuracy of a square. Take an edge which you know to be straight, line the square up that way, mark a line, reverse it, and mark another line. And there you can see the accuracy or the inaccuracy of the square is doubled by coming in from one side and the other. And you can quite clearly see there that this is not accurate enough for fine work. So it's hardly any surprise that woodworkers have embraced engineering squares. They're much nicer size and they are very accurate indeed. So you can see there a couple of dead parallel lines. The disadvantage with these squares is that they're very unbalanced, and also if you happen to drop one on a concrete floor, they're no longer square anymore. So what I've tried to do is to take the benefits of the engineering square and the balance of the woodworking square and come out with what I'd call my cabinet making squares. So I've got a pair of these squares. First one here is the 5-inch, and the 5-inch dimension, it measures on the inside here. That's a general purpose cabinet making square. And then there's the dinky little 3-inch, which is a very useful little square. Now they have a number of features. They're really nicely balanced. If you were to sit these on the edge here, they sit on their own, both of them quite happily. Try and do that with an engineering square and it'll be straight on the floor. So there's a nice balance to them, there's a nice size to them. They're both dead accurate to 0.001 of an inch over the entire length of the blade. And they're machined from a single billet of aircraft grade aluminium. So there's no bolts, there's no rivets, it's one piece and it's machined from one block, dead accurate. And because it's aluminium, if you happen to drop it on the floor, you might get a little nick, but it's going to stay dead accurate as well. Another little feature here is the ledge, which means that when you come up to the edge here, you're able to, it's got support. So you're not looking to give the edge of the square support. It's actually got support built in, which is really nice. So you're able to support that and support that there. So that works really well, particularly when you're coming down, when you're marking down for dovetails and things like that. Sits there very nicely. And then the last little feature which I've incorporated is you can see it's got a little notch here. So when you're doing the outside measurements of pieces of timber, for instance, very often you get fur and things there, which can throw the square off. So by having a little notch in the corner allows you to easily reference the outside there. So there we have it. My little pair of cabinet making squares. They both come in nice French fitted box, and at last squares for the cabinet maker.